if you're looking for the simplest way to scalp volatility indices, then I've got just the strategy for you, right? So right over here, I've got two moving average here, right? Two moving averages over here, right? I've got the 50 moving average, which is the black, and the 200 moving average, which is the purple one, right? So these are both exponential, applied to close, right? And then I'm going to add the indicator that we're going to be using for entries, right? So right over here, we're going to be using the parabolic SAR, right? Parabolic SAR dots. They are just the default settings, right? Then you click what? You click done, right? They're a little bit ugly, but if you're using it on your phone, they're a little bit smarter, right? So how do we use this strategy, right? So we're going to be entering, especially the 5 minute time frame. You can also use the 1 minute time frame, but I encourage you to use the 5 minute time frame. It's a little bit smarter, right? It's a little bit more consistent, right? So what do we have to look for over here, right? So yeah, we can check our trend from the higher time frame, but since we are just scalping, we can just use that single time frame alone, right, for us to get our entries, right? So over here, what are we going to be doing? We are going to be looking for, first of all, we're going to be looking for the 50-200 cross, right? So if the 50-200 crosses for what? For a downtrend, then we are going to be looking for our selling setups, right? And if it crosses for what? For an uptrend, we are going to be looking for what? For our buying setups, for our bullish setups, right? So over here, that's what we are going to be using, right? And yeah, so that's why we just want to trade the trend so that it becomes a little bit simpler, right? So why did I use the parabolic SAR dots? Right, let me just zoom in a little bit so that you can see how they work, right? So over here, right, so let's take for example, in this case over here, right? So let's say, let me just explain how we are going to be entering first before I explain why we chose this indicator, right? So over here, right, moving average is crossed forward for a downtrend, right? So over here they cross for a sell, right? Because 200 moving average is on top of the candlesticks. So if the 200 moving average is on top of the candlesticks, it means that we are going what? We are going down, right? And the same applies for the 50 moving average, right? But the 50 moving average, you can also use it for your entries here and there, but it also determines the trend, right? So over here we're in a downtrend, right? So we're looking for our selling setups, right? So over here, how are we going to be when are we going to be entering, right? So we're going to be entering, as you can see over here, that we are going to be entering when the first parabolic SAR dot, right, when this dot over here appears on top of the candlesticks, right? So most probably you would have entered after this candlestick here, so maybe you have entered over here, right, and you scalp maybe about to here, right? So we're going to be exiting when when there's another parabolic SAR dot that appears below the candlestick, right? So over here it shows that with the parabolic SAR want to pull back or buy for a little while, so we exit over here. We enter again when the parabolic SIR dot appears above the candlestick, right? So why did I choose the parabolic SIR dots for this? Because it likely lets me look for an example. It means that your stop loss is going to be slightly smaller, right? You are not going to be losing that much money, and when you are going to be winning, you are going to be winning a lot more money, right? So over here, let's take this for example. We entered for our sale over here, right? Though I would encourage you to end up above the 50 moving average, but that's not a problem, right? So over here, we entered when the parabolic SR dot appeared on top over here, right? So we'd have entered right over here, would have taken our entry, right? We hold, and then the dot appears below over here. So if you can see, you've made about what? Yeah, it's a very small amount of money, but it was just a break even. But if it had hit our stop loss, then that stop loss would be very slim. Right? So let's take for example, yeah, let's use this as an example over here. Right? So over here, our parabolic SAR dot appeared over here. This was the first dot that appeared, so they've entered somewhere over here, right? That's our entry, right? And as you can see, the parabolic SR dot appears here, right? So you can see that the distance between our entry point and our exit point is very small, right? So meaning that our stop loss is going to be very low, and our take profit is going to be very high. So you can even use this strategy to grow a small account, and it works on any pair, right? For volatility indices only, right? For boom and crash, I haven't used it. It doesn't work the way I want. It's not consistent with boom and crash. So you just have, with this strategy, you just have to follow the trend, and you'll be able to get as many entries as you can. That since you are just scalping, you can get as many entries as you can, but don't overtrade, guys, because when you start overtrading, that's when the bad things start happening. You might start losing your money, and a lot of other bad things, right? So if you want to know why you are not making profit yet, when there are these profitable strategies, then I suggest that you watch this video next, where I talk about what's stopping you from, or why I talk about why you are not making profits in trading.